Hey everyone, it's Gerda here. How are you doing on this fabulous Tuesday afternoon? I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. So we are live on my public Facebook page. So I want to check in here on my trusty laptop to make sure that we are streaming live and that we are all good to go. Yes, and we are. And as always, what I will do is share this in my Facebook groups. That way we might actually have some people able to join us live. So I'll put it in my general private practice success for allied health professionals group. So that is for anybody in the allied health industry that is a private practice owner. Hey Amanda, glad you're jumping on so quickly. How are things on the Gold Coast? If that's where you are, I know sometimes you do a bit of traveling. Hope you're doing well. Let me know what's up with you today. Let me also share this into my master level group. Okie dokie. And what I might do is also just share this in my online marketing group, and then we should be good to go. Hey Amanda. Amanda says, hey everyone. Let's share this in my online marketing program group. Fabulous. So awesome. Yes, I am sure that for a lot of you, you are actually maybe even at home today. So I'm really hopeful that I'll get some of you joining me live on this live stream. Hey Simon, how are you? Good to see you joining me live. I know that in a lot of the states, of course, it is school holidays. Here in Queensland, which is not so sunny today, it's actually the first day back of school. Yay! So I've got my days back to myself again. Hey Christine, welcome on board. Glad to have you here. Hey Patricia, thanks for joining. Fabulous to see more and more people hopping on, as I'm going to share a very interesting little story with you today. And that is how I got my bubble burst. This happened at the end of last week. I think I needed some reflection and recovery time before I was able to now share it with you guys. Simon says, hey good and co, I have 20 minutes eating lunch. Well, very blessed that you are sharing your lunchtime with us. Do enjoy. Simon, I'm having my coffee as well as I'm talking to you guys. So, how did I get my bubble burst last week? Hey Monique, glad to see you on here as well. You must also be enjoying the freedom of it being first day back to school, as I am, until I go and get my monkeys again at 2:30. So today I'm sharing with you guys how I got my bubble burst, and this happened last week Thursday. Monique says having lunch too. Yeah, well, it's lunchtime. It's that time of the day. So if you are following especially my Instagram account, so I mostly post about my running, my morning running that I'm doing on my Instagram account and posting on there. Sometimes I will share it onto my personal Facebook page, or maybe on my on this page, my public page as well. But if you do follow me on Instagram, you would know that I've been running fairly consistently every morning for the last couple of months. Really started in February, and running probably most weekdays. The only days that I won't run is, like, for example, tomorrow I won't be running because tomorrow is actually the day that I go into my Logan home practice to see 3 clients. Yes, so I still see clients. I go in there I try 2 weeks, but that's not working at the moment. It's probably more every 3 weeks that I go into the practice to see 3 clients, and because that starts at 9:30, I don't get to do my normal run. So I normally drop the kids off at school, come home, 9 o'clock I'm home, and then I go for my morning run. I've been doing that very consistently, have been feeling very proud of myself for doing that consistently. I've been feeling very fit, all that type of stuff. So on Thursday morning, I went back to personal training for the first time in a number of weeks. So I have an account with my local gym. I'm one of those people that has a gym account that rarely goes. But even though I'm very mindful of that, I still go. All right. And I've never been tempted to cancel that account. I don't know if it's my own punishment for not going. I don't know. Let's not analyze that part of this live stream right now. But I like to know that it's there and I can go at the drop of a hat. I don't have to again first go through paperwork, sign up, do all of that stuff. I know it's there and I can go whenever it suits me. And included in my membership is a weekly PT session. And I haven't gone for quite some time. And lots of reasons there. In terms that I love this running thing so much that I get annoyed that I have to go to PT on a Thursday morning in my running time that I've set out for myself. How odd is that? I know I can be very odd with certain things. That I prefer to go running than to go to PT. Well, that might make sense because guess what? I couldn't walk for 2 days after Thursday. I couldn't go up the stairs. My legs, my hamstrings, and my, what's this called? I don't know what's the English word for it, but basically my legs here in the front was hurting so much. All right, but I've gone in and I'm spending this time with my PT trainer, Johnny, and you know, we're chatting and all that type of stuff. And I've been telling him that, you know, I was still good. I go running every day of the week almost. So I'm really bragging about my consistency and that I shouldn't feel bad because I haven't been doing PT because I've been good with the running part of things, okay? And he asks, oh, okay, so, you know, how many Ks do you do? And I said, I've got no idea. I do a track. It's the same track every day. And I use this running app that tells me to run, walk, and that type of stuff. And he says, well, how many minutes per kilometer? And I said, well, that I know because the app is consistently telling me every kilometer that I do. And it's like 11 minutes a kilometer. And he goes, what? 11 minutes a kilometer? I went, yes, pretty awesome, ain't it? He goes, no, you should be doing like 4 Ks in 11 minutes. He says, you should be doing 1 kilometer in 4 minutes. And I went, what, really? And there my bubble was burst. I was thinking that I was so awesome running every morning consistently, and I still get tired and out of breath. And, you know, that I was keeping it up and I was working on my fitness. And I thought 11 minutes is really awesome. And here he goes, no. Simon says, not odd. I love running too. It's a psychological healing of time to zoning out, yes, by zoning in on the present, not just cardio for antidepressant. I love that, Simon, because that is exactly what it is for me, that I don't want to give it up to go to the gym and do a PT session because it gives me that time just to be with me in the moment, no distractions, nothing else. I do love it. So my little bubble was burst when it comes to my running, and my initial reaction to stuff like that is like a bit of rebellion, like, what do you know? You know, that's good enough for me and it's better than not doing it, and all my little excuses and stuff. But then, you know, you take some time to reflect on it, and I went running again on Friday. I didn't run over the weekend, and I ran again this morning, and guess what? This morning I did 9 minutes a kilometer. Simon says I ran 10 kilometers in 45 to 48 minutes. If you can run 5 to 6 minutes per kilometer, that's pretty good. My golly, 10 Ks, I would be dead, but lots of respect for you doing that. Karen says, I run at that pace also, Gerda. I know I'm a snail, but it's meditation for me. So true, Karen, so true. And, you know, my daughter says that's why she doesn't want to run with me, because she says I'm too slow, my 15-year-old. And just when she thinks I'm speeding up, then I'm walking again. It's maybe more of a shuffle at times. But the interesting thing is, on Thursday it was 11 minutes a K, and today it was 9 minutes a kilometer. And it's so interesting, that mental shift that happened, that just realizing that I've been underperforming and realizing that, I've became comfortable at a certain level, just becoming aware of it made me run faster today. And when I actually looked at it, I know why it is the case, why I became comfortable at that level. So I use an app called Running, and because I'm such a person of habit, I have been doing week 3. So I did week 1 to 6. I think there's 6 weeks, or was there 8? No, 1 to 6, I think. I did all of it, and I started again at week 3. But I ended up every week, I repeat week 3 again, because I like the pace of it. I just like everything of week 3. But that is what has kept me stuck. So this morning I went to week 4, which of course is a bit a level higher, and there I go, 9 minutes, a kilometer. All right, so there's so much learning out of this in terms of that sometimes you need to have your bubble burst. All right, it can be annoying when it happens the first time. So, and it was annoying, not like overwhelming annoying. It was just like, no, I'm doing pretty well. Don't tell me I should be going faster. Don't tell me I should be getting more out of breath and uncomfortable. I like what I'm doing. And then it sits with you, and then you start to reflect on it. And that's the job of my personal trainer, is to burst my bubble a bit. And even though I told him to go slow, and I thought he did, because I wasn't as out of breath as I normally would, because I was going, I haven't been here for 9 weeks or something to that effect. My legs still hurt as hell for the next 2 days. Couldn't go up and down the stairs in the house. Sometimes we need to have our bubble burst. It is good for us. And if you think about your role as a clinical psychologist, an allied health professional, whatever it is that your profession is out there, it's part of our jobs to sometimes burst our client's bubble. Now, of course, there's a way of doing it. And as allied health professionals, we study a lot of years to become highly skilled at building rapport, building engagement, so that we can burst that bubble, i.e. give bad news in a contained situation, in a contained environment where it is safe for that person and also safe for you to be delivering that information. Patricia says, I know the feeling, Gerda. I do PT twice a week and have my bubble burst regularly. Keeps me humble and on my toes. Most definitely. Most definitely. It has to happen. And as a helping professional, I know that sometimes those are probably for us the hardest sessions. Those sessions where you have to burst a client's bubble, whether that involves, sharing a diagnosis. Maybe you need to share with parents that their kids have got autism, or, share with people and really be strong in terms of that the relationship that they're in is destructive, and that they probably, really need to make significant changes in their lives. Sometimes you have to give bad news, but in a way, of course, it's helpful for the person, and you have to burst that bubble, because without bursting the bubble, people won't change their behavior. If he did not burst my bubble, I would still be doing week 3, day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and doing week 3 over and over and over and over again. All right. But because he burst my bubble, I started with week 4. That's what we do as helping professionals. That's how we help people. And for me, it really stuck a chord, because I saw it in person as a client. I've now seen how it's helpful for me. I know how it works as a helping professional myself, as a psychologist. And also for my role these days as a private practice success business coach and mentor. Sometimes my job is to burst people's bubble. And I find it actually harder to do with practice owners than with my clinical clients, because a lot of times, well, I guess, my private PPS clients are very much like colleagues, very much like peers, and it's hard sometimes to burst that bubble, but it's so important. But it can be really a satisfying experience as well. For example, when I run my introductory workshops, and if you've been to one of those, you would have maybe experienced a bit of this. Part of that workshop is to look at the levels of development of a private practice, and I normally do that activity where I get people to plot, some markers for what describes their practice right now, and then plot some markers to describe their ideal private practice that they're working towards. So we do that exercise, and then I take them through the levels, and then what we do, we compare their ideal private practice, and we look, how does that correlate to the 5 levels? And very often what I find is that people underestimate what they can achieve by being in a group private practice, like running and being a group private practice owner, where people have gone, well, I thought I'm doing pretty well, I thought this is it, I'm all settled in, it's easy, it's comfortable, things are going well, and then they realize, I'm only at level 3. There's actually a level in 4. Now that is an awesome bubble to burst, when you really raises people's expectations of what it is that they can achieve. And at other times, it's a yucky bubble to burst, where you need to tell people that, what you're doing is going to keep you stuck. And you're doing a lot of yes butting. Now, maybe you need to reflect for yourself. I've done a lot of vlogs. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel. You can just scroll down on this Facebook page. You'll see a lot of the videos, or that's a waste of time. Just go to the video tab and you'll find all the videos, rather than having to scroll through all of it, because there's quite a lot of content on here. If you go to the videos tab, you click on it, you'll see all the videos, and there's so much content on there. And I can bet you that at some point or another, you've been watching one of my videos and the content that I've been sharing with you, and you were going, yes, that's all good, but, or yes, maybe that works for you, Gerda, but not in my area, not in my location, not in my industry, and so forth. Okay, I know it happens, alrighty? I know. And you would know as a psychologist or a helping professional that yes, but is not a helpful way to respond when getting feedback. So that's really just a self-reflection for you when you're listening to my content, because it's all about bursting the bubble. I'm bursting the bubble in terms of making you think outside the norm, making you think outside your mental blocks, possibly around how things are meant to be and how things should be done in our industry when trying to run a business. Just have a look here for any comments. Not that I can see any. Cool. So to summarize, having your bubble burst is a good thing. You need to be brave enough to let somebody else burst your bubble. You need to be brave enough to sometimes burst other people's bubble, whether that's your clients, whether that's your family, your husband, your kids, because when that bubble bursts, there is growth that happens and change happens. And unfortunately, change cannot happen without that bubble being burst. All right, as always, I would love your comments on this. And if you know that it is time for you to have your bubble burst, okay, if you know that you've been way too comfortable in what it is that you're doing, or if you know that there's a lot more that you want to achieve in your private practice and you want to make sure that you get there in the fastest way possible with the support of myself and a very elite, if I can use that word, and the only reason why I use that word is because it's a very exclusive group of other private practice owners, then I want to invite you to consider applying for my Inner Circle Mastermind. Now, this mastermind group only kicks off in January. Now, yesterday it was 90 days before the start of 2018. So today it's 89 days before the start of 2018. I don't really count December because if you're like me and you've got a family and kids, December is like just a whirlwind. It goes so quickly with school functions, end of year stuff, school holidays, all of that. So there's not a lot of time to get yourself set up for an amazing 2018. So I'm taking expressions of interest early this year, and the reason being that I've already had 2 expressions of interest. So I was thinking, if people are already starting to think of 2018, you know, let's get this party started, so to speak. Now this year I only had 5 people in this group, which is why I used the word elite. I should really just say a very exclusive. So it is my highest level program that I offer. So it's where you work the closest with me that you possibly can. So it's the highest level of support that you can get from me, and therefore it's called the Inner Circle. Now there's a lot of inclusions as part of that program. For example, you know, if you've done my masterclass weekend workshop, you can attend it again for free. You can attend basically every event that I run, whether online or in person, as part of being part of that group. You get my whole operating manual. The doors to my practice is open to you. All right, that is the level of support that you get. And of course, there's a lot more details in terms of the more structured support. So have a think about it. If you are interested, and let me know. However, there are some conditions to getting into this group. First of all is that you need to be coachable. All right, if you've got a lot of rigid beliefs, if you've got a lot of black and white thinking around your business, then you are not ready yet. Okay, because when you come into this group, you want to be implementing, because you want to see growth, you want to see expansion. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. This 12 months with me, there's a lot of labor pains, a lot of growing pains, especially if you haven't set up your practice properly beforehand. Okay, but if you're going to be too rigid, it's not going to work. Why? Because I don't want to fight you to get you to where you need to be. I don't want to have to drag you to where you want to be. I want to support you. I want to empower you. I want to give you all the strategies, the skills, the tools, the policies, the systems to get you there. But you need to want to get there, okay? Or it's not going to work. So you need to be coachable and therefore teachable, okay? You also need to be somebody that is very eager and happy to implement stuff. Otherwise, it's going to be a waste of your time, energy, and money. All right, so you need to be ready to implement. What else? I think those are really the 2 most important things. I really don't care at what level of development your practice is. I do find that a lot of people that do come to play, I guess, at this level with me and a handful or 5 or so of other private practice owners already have fairly established practices. But that being said, this year I actually for the first time had a solo practitioner join with big dreams, goals and hopes and aspirations, and it's been amazing having her as part of the group as well. This is really a group of amazing people. I think of our last retreat that we had in Sydney, and as part of our retreat, so we run 4 in-person retreats every year, and as part of that retreat we run a hot seat. And the one person on the hot seat came up, so it's been like 9 months since we started the Inner Circle, and said, you know, I want to see more change, I want to see more growth in my practice. It feels like there hasn't been dramatic enough growth. And somebody else was sitting there, a very clever practice owner, and she said, okay, well, how have your practice grown over the last 9 months or so? And the practice owner that was sitting in the hot seat said, well, we've increased our turnover with $100,000. And there was a bit of silence, and then there was a bit of chuckles, because we all realized that, yep, that's just us. You increase your turnover with 100K and you're going, hang on, there's still 3 months left. I need to be working harder. I need to achieve more. So this is the type of people that is in the Inner Circle, really people that likes to step things up, go to that next level and expand. And I guess are very similar to me in that we are always, you know, extending the goalpost. There's always moving towards something better. I'm not sure if you've ever seen, and I love this speech that Matthew McConaughey did when he won his Oscar a couple of years back. And he said that somebody asked him, who is his hero? And he talks about this in his speech. If you haven't seen it, you need to Google and watch it. It's like a goosebump speech. And this is just a little snippet of it. And he said that somebody asked him who is his hero, and he thought about it, that type of thing. And his answer was basically this, that my hero is me 10 years from now. And he says, you always need something to chase. You always need someone to chase. And that is me 10 years from now, in terms of going, okay, what do I want to achieve in 10 years' time? Okay, and that's what I'm chasing. And if you're my next level mastermind, you would know that I often talk, and we've done some journaling in there on acting as your 2.0, that next level version of who you are. Hey Tess, thanks for joining. You've missed most of it, 90%. You're going to have to go and rewatch all of this, young lady, because you cannot miss this one. And it's about always knowing that that's what I'm chasing, and I always want to be better and improve, because, you know, that's just how we are, and this is the type of people that we are, and that's the type of people that is in that inner circle. So if you are interested in being part of this amazing group next year, as I said, it's very limited places. Hey Naomi, thanks for joining. I'm almost at the end. You're going to have to go and watch the recording, please. Please send me an email if you're interested. So I've just given you the rundown of some of the requirements. Just email me. I'll pop my email into the comment section. And what I want you to tell me in that email is why you are ready to be part of the Inner Circle Mastermind. Whether it is something that you want to achieve, a challenge that you have, anything, it doesn't matter. But why it is that you think that you need to be part of this amazing group of private practice owners. Thank you so much for listening to me today, for allowing me to share with you how my bubble got burst and how to apply that in your own life. It's always fun, and thank you for everybody that joined me live. And remember, everyone, as always, all you need to do is say yes to your very own ultimate level 5 private practice. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.